Hi friends, welcome back. In this video I am teaching you how to build advanced CSS modern drop down menu. So this is very beautiful and interactive navigation bar. So you can see our border of bottom is changing with the border of drop down menu. So you can see also changes the color of text with the color of border. So this is very interactive and beautiful navigation bar. So all the color relates to many tags. So you can see this is a very beautiful navigation bar. So this is very difficult to design it, but I teach you how to design this. So also you can see is some other tags without drop down is I also created. So firstly added HTML and CSS file in the Notepad++ and type firstly all the global structure of HTML by opening HTML and closing the HTML, sorry for mistake, and shift down the HTML and open head tag. And now in the head tag open the title tag and give the title of the page drop down. And also link our CSS file to HTML. Rel is relationship between our CSS and HTML. So this is style sheet, and also give the type text/CSS, and href means path. So path is style.css, and close the link. And after head tag open the body and don't forget to close it by shifting down the body. In this we open our outer div with ID of container. So this is the container of our all HTML. Inside this we open another div and copy this, open the another div with ID of wrapper. So this is the wrapper of our HTML or drop down, and inside this open another div with ID of holder. So in this drop down we are using many div tags. Without div tags it is impossible to create like this type of drop down menu. So now create another div for software and close it. Firstly I will check you so why we created this software. Firstly open drop down and refresh. So we are creating for this software and one div. So for the software, inside this we open the unordered list and close it. Inside this we open the list items. So we want only one list item. Inside this we give the class pad to list item, and inner this open another anchor tag and give href hash because we don't sending any link now. So inside this open the span tag. So we are using span tag actually for the border of bottom with color changes. So that's because we are using the span. So refresh. So you can see our software is aligned, and I think we can copy this full software and paste it for 3D. So changes the T/D for 3D and class same pad and software change to 3D. And now check back again. So now we creating the another div with ID of VFX. So this is VFX. So this is the category of VFX, and don't forget to close the div. firstly I think I open the another VFX. So we are now styling this VFX. Sorry, not styling, we are creating the HTML of VFX. So inside this VFX we opening many div tags, and but firstly open an order list and give the ID of using. Actually we giving the all the categories like VFX, game development and software. We are actually using the only one ID in some cases like this pad and ID using. So we are using the many same classes. So inside this open the list item and give the same class of pad, and inside this open the anchor tags and give the list item span for border of color changes. So give the VFX and shift down the list item for the drop down menu. So firstly open an order list, and inside this firstly I think open a div tag with class equal I think sub wrapper score VFX, and don't forget to close div. So inside this now we opening also another div with class equal. Actually firstly we copy this div, and now we giving the class of sub container, only use con, and now paste the another div with sub holder HOL, and inside this now we opening another div. So I also again tell you, while we are using many div tags, without div tags it is impossible, I think not impossible, it is very difficult to create this type of HTML because we don't using the Java. So inside this give the class sub1, and sorry it is not sub1, it is sub1, yes, and give the heading of VFX, and inside this open another unordered list and give the list item. Firstly open anchor tag and href equal hash and close the anchor tag, and give the list item composition, sorry composting, and now paste the all. Now copy these all the list items, I paste it and refresh to apply the changes on HTML. So you can see our this VFX subjects is now on the left side. So after this I think now we create another div. Sorry for mistake. Actually creates another div and give the class equal. Firstly copy and give the class of sub menu, only M, full form is sub menu, and give the heading VFX softwares, and copy the, so I will copy and paste here all the content, so you can pause the video and paste it. But firstly I will create another div with class of sub in L. So this is the sub inner left side, and close the div, and inside this create the another unordered list, and I will copy and paste all the list items. So you can pause the video and copy it. So you can see this is 3D equalizer, and firstly I will check. So you can see this is the VFX software of on the match mode. So you can see our left side is now looking, sorry, not looking good. It is now applying and HTML is working. And now after this we are creating the sub menu. In the sub menu we are creating the sub inner right side. So this is the right side of our inner menu. Firstly give some more space. So after this you can see, now refresh and apply. So our all VFX software is now looking good, and I will show you what is this. So on the smoke you can see this is the softwares. So our middle content of VFX is now created. So after this we build the HTML of our right side. So I will copy and paste it. You can pause the video and copy the content. So this is the sub right side. So this is the sub menu is of right side. Like see the heading, more, new training. So our VFX is now completed, I think. But firstly check. And you can see this is the class sub menu, and this is sub inner right side, and close the div. So I already explained that we are using many div tags because we are not using any Java. By refreshing you can apply the changes, and I will see what is this. So this is the right side, this is more. So our VFX is now completed, and I will copy and paste all the VFX. And firstly I will show you, this is the div is, this is the left side, and this is starting of VFX. So now I will copy and pasting another categories. So you can pause the video and copy it, but firstly I will check the VFX. So this is not, I think so. Yeah, I will pasting the all design categories and another. So you can pause the video and copy it. So you can see this is the same of VFX. I only changes the name of div tags and list items, and this div IT and software 3D is also same. So I will paste it. Sorry, I pasted it, and you can pause the video and copy it. So this is the sub menu. So this is the right side and this is the left side, and this is the game category. So this is the web category. So this is the left menu of our game, and this is CAD. So this is same of VFX. I only changes the div tags and some list items, and also our HTML is completed. So now we style the CSS. Sorry. So I am now for CSS using the brackets. So I started the live preview for more communication between our CSS file and in the browser. So I started the live preview in the bracket. So now we style our drop down menu, advanced CSS drop down menu. So let's start styling by firstly opening the body tag and give the body to margin 0 pixel and padding also for 0 pixel, and change the font family to Arial, and also change the font size to 14.5 pixels. So I don't need to refresh page because I started I also now again I am telling you I started the live preview, and after this I am selecting all the list items in the unordered list. So give the list style type none because we don't want the bullets of unordered list, and refresh I don't want to refresh page. So you can see our CSS is applying. So our link is now working good, and also give the container width 100%. So now I am selecting the ID of wrapper and giving the width of 980 pixels, and margin from top and bottom to 0 and left to right to auto. And I am now selecting all the heading 3 tags and giving the color of #FFF, so this is the white color. And also after this I am giving the text transform to uppercase. So after this I am changing the font weight to normal. So you can see our CSS is now looking good and applying also. So also changes the font size to 12 pixels and give some margin 0, and also change the padding to 0 from top right to 0, bottom to 12, and from left side to 0. And after this I am selecting the unordered list all and giving margin padding to 0. So good and working CSS. So after this I am selecting the list item, sorry not list items, we are selecting the all pad. So this is the class, so float to left side, and after this I am selecting the inside holder list items, so giving the color of #838080 and giving the text decoration to none. So you can see our CSS is applying, and by one tag it is developing our drop down menu. And after this give also some transition of 0.1 second. So this is the actually basically animation transition. And after this I am selecting all the anchor tags of category and drop down menu, giving the color 838080 and giving also text decoration none and display block and transition 0.1 second. So I don't need to refresh page because I started the live preview. And after this I am selecting the class pad. Inside class pad I am selecting the anchor tags, so giving the padding 18 pixels from top right to 17, bottom 22 and left to 17. So this is the clockwise. So after this I am selecting unordered list and giving the width of 100%. So you can see our drop down menu is developing by one tag. And after this I am selecting the list item, span inside the list item inside holder and giving the padding top to bottom 7, left to right to 0. And after this I am selecting the when we hover on anchor tag and also hover on the list item, so applies all the changes applies on anchor tag, and background changes to hash. So this is the hide, give the hexadecimal color, and this is the light gray and shade of black. And after this I am selecting the software unordered list item, and when we hover on anchor tag, so all the changes apply on span. So firstly give some transition 0.1 second. This is basically animation. And after this I am selecting the 3D and ID is TD, and inside this when we hover on anchor tag, changes apply to span tag. And after this again I'm selecting the list item, and when we hover on, so applies changes on inside anchor tag inside this span. So after this I'm selecting the border bottom, so 2 pixel solid hash FE and 6666 I think. So this is the applies. So you can see, so border bottom changes to orange, and I also give some transition 0.1 second. And after this after this I'm selecting VFX. Inside VFX, when we hover on anchor tag, so all changes apply to span tag. And also after this I'm selecting selecting the class using. So when we hover on inside class using list item, so all the changes applies on span tag, and give the border bottom 2 pixel solid, and also apply some transition 0.1 second. So you can see border of VFX changes. So a border of VFX changes, and also like this we changes all the categories of border bottom. And after this I'm selecting the class subwrapper VFX, and I am giving the border bottom 5 pixel solid hash 6159cc. And now I'm selecting the class wrapper subwrapper VFX. When we hover on anchor tag, so color change to hash 6159cc, and give also some transition 0.1 second. So you can see now color changes of our categories of VFX. So you can see our VFX is now changing VFX categories of list item. And after this I am selecting design. So now we design the design category. So when we hover on anchor tag inside another list of design, so by comma, and when we hover on also list item, all the applies on span tag. So changes the border bottom 2 pixel solid hash FA96. So this is the yellow color, and also give some transition 0.1 second. And after this I am selecting the subwrapper design. So give also some border bottom of 5 pixel solid. So this is also yellow color in the hexadecimal hex color. And after this I am selecting the subwrapper design. So when we hover on anchor tag, so color change and apply some transition of 0.3 pixels. So you can see this is working our CSS, and border is now looking good. So border changes of bottom. And after this I am selecting the game. So now we design the game category. And now when we hover on anchor tag and comma, when we also hover on list item, all the applies changes to span tag, and give the border bottom, changes the border bottom to 2 pixel solid hash 78BA42, and also give some transition 0.1 second. And after this I am selecting the subwrapper game, and give the border bottom 5 pixel solid and same of upper. And after this I am selecting the subwrapper game. When we hover on anchor tag, so color change to hash 78 and same of upper, and also get some transition of 0.3 second. So so you can see our text is changing now with the color of border bottom of category. And after this I am now styling the web category. So when we hover on anchor tag and when we hover on list items of web inside the class using, so all the changes apply to span tag. and border bottom 2 pixel solid hash CA3723. So also apply some transition 0.1 second, and now select the sub wrapper web and also give some border bottom 5 pixel solid hash CA3723, and after this select the sub wrapper web, and when we hover on anchor tag, color change to hash CA3723 and also apply some transition of 0.3 second. So now you can see our web is now border bottom is applied and color also changes to red of list items. And after this, now we styling the CAD category. So all the same, when we hover on anchor tag, all the changes apply to span, and when we selecting the class using, and when we hover on the inside class list item, when we hover on list item, all the changes applies on inside anchor tag, inside span. So changes the border bottom to 2 pixel solid hash 1CA6EO 0, and apply also some transition of 0.1 second. And after this I am selecting the sub wrapper CAD and give also border bottom 5 pixel solid hash 1CA6E0, same of upper. And again I am selecting the sub wrapper CAD. Inside this I am selecting, when we hover on anchor tag, color change to hash 1A and apply also some transition of 0.3 second. So design and VFX is also looking good. So after this, now I'm selecting the DEV. So this is the Dev and Development category. So after inside this, when we hover on anchor tag, all the changes applies on span. So border bottom 2 pixel solid hash F2662A and apply some also transition of 0.1. So all the category is looking very good. By some tags it looks now more good, applying some more tags. Now I'm selecting the blog. So when we hover on anchor tag, all the changes applies on span, and border bottom 2 pixel solid hash 77777. So this is the gray color, and I also apply some transition of 0.1 second. And after this I'm selecting the sub wrapper VFX, comma class sub wrapper design, and comma sub wrapper game, and comma class sub wrapper web. So now we're selecting all the classes and sub wrapper CAD. So give the width of 100% and give also some height of auto, and change the background to hash 262626 and change the position to absolute, and from left side to give the margin of 0 pixel and give the padding 40 pixels from top and bottom, and left to right to 0. And where I am selecting the exactly inside the list item of folder unordered list, and give the position to absolute, from left side 900. So you can see our border our drop down is now gone. So when we hover on, so now when our drop down is shows and visible, and now when we hover on list items, so unordered list left 0, and now we're selecting the sub container of all inside the drop down menu. So give the width of 900 pixel and margin 0 pixel from top and bottom to, and left to right to auto, and also apply some sub left float to left side and width of 250 pixels. And now you can see our drop down is now showing when we hover on list items or categories. So our designing is left, and we'll design the all drop down menu. So now I am selecting the anchor tag inside the subholder class, and giving the padding 8 top from right to 8 and bottom to 8, from left side to 0, and also changes the font size to 13 pixels and applying some transition of 0.3 second. And after this I am selecting the sub M, so give the padding of left 20 pixels and float to left side and border from left side, giving the border from left side to giving the 1 pixel solid hash 40 4D and 4D, and border from right side 1 pixel solid and same again of upper, and also apply some padding from right side 240 pixels. And now check, so you can see our border is now looking very good, but some margin we want from right side in the more side. And now I'm selecting the sub in left, so float to left side, width gives the 135 pixel, and now I'm selecting the right side and float to right and width 135 pixels. And now I'm selecting the class of sub R, so this is the right side, inside drop down float to right side, and also apply some padding from left side to 20 pixels. So you can see this is now looking very good and floating to right side. So our CSS is now completed, I think, and it is designed fully. So you can see our modern web CSS is now looking very good. So thanks for watching.